Alright, what's up guys? So this is a video about my recent trip to Costa Rica. We flew into San Jose. We took JetBlue. We actually had to fly in a day earlier because the flights were tricky. We had a flight to Florida, which was going to get delayed. It was early in the morning. And then we had to catch a flight to San Jose. So we actually got on a flight a day earlier, which was actually great. So my first thing is take a travel day. If I was going to do this again, and any trips I do, I'm just going to take a travel day. Have an extra day on both ends, if you can, to travel. So we were able to take a flight. We got there. We stayed at the Wyndham San Jose, which was great. It wasn't that expensive. I don't have the price on me, but we booked it really late. I think we booked it like on the plane. So we stayed in the Wyndham. They gave us like an upgrade in a room. So this is just me kind of walking around the room and the grounds. It was really nice place. We got there, we just relaxed. But that's my first thing, is just take a day. Don't try to drive at night. So we just went to the hotel. We took a taxi right from the airport. They take credit cards. So it's really easy. And the credit card on your phone, I would just say get a mobile wallet. I used my iPhone, my mobile wallet, the whole time I was on this vacation. Just use your mobile wallet. Because you don't need to have connection, so you can just like leave and you can pay and you'll be good to go. This is all my camera equipment. I don't know if there's music on this, hopefully not, but I brought a bunch of camera equipment. I bought I have a Sony a7 IV, so I bought a 50 millimeter to 400 millimeter zoom. If you like taking photography, zoom is your friend in Costa Rica. You need at least 400 millimeters, I think. This is on the roof of the Wyndham San Jose, and that's my fiance. And they had a little breakfast that was included. That's always nice. So what was really great about it is the next day we were able to take an Uber. So we took an Uber, which is great because everything is just like it is in the US. You just call the Uber, it comes, there's no guesswork, everything is through the app, which was nice, great. You don't have to worry about like getting ripped off. And if you're like me, then I'm constantly worrying about getting ripped off. Anything like that, I'm always thinking about it. So we took an Uber to Vamos Rent-A-Car. I can't recommend them enough. Vamos was great. Everything went smoothly. They were nice. It wasn't packed. We walked in. They helped us. They got us situated. We walked around the car. I got an SUV. I wanted the four-wheel drive. I didn't use it, but they're like, depending on where you're going, personally, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. The roads sometimes are not great. Sometimes, like, luckily we didn't get caught in any mud. We weren't going to Monteverde, so we didn't really go like off-road a lot, but some of the places we were staying, the roads were kind of like off-road. So it's just better to have it. I'd rather have a 4x4 and not need it than vice versa. And it's maybe like 10, well, we stayed in the Wyndham, but I would say it's about 10 minutes from the airport. They have a shuttle as well, which we didn't use because we stayed somewhere else, but they have a shuttle that at the end of the trip brought us back to the airport. So here's us heading towards Bwok, and my fiance actually didn't drive, but she likes to drive. So once we got to the dirt road, then I let her drive a little bit. Oh yeah, this is her on the dirt road. Right when we were almost getting to the place. But like the road is, really rocky, really bumpy, and there's a lot of places that, if it rains or if there's like mudslides and stuff, it could get pretty bad. So here's we're following the young girl who was bringing us to the place that we were staying. So this is Bwok CR, and I actually found this because it was close to Tortuguero. It gets dark around 5 p.m. So if you're going to Tortuguero, don't try to land in San Jose. Get your rental car and then drive to La Pavona and get to Tortuguero. I don't think that's feasible. I think the smartest thing is to stay somewhere, maybe along the route, get close to La Pavona because it is pretty far out there and it's pretty desolate. I would say get your snacks first, do whatever you have to do, get your money, exchange your money, do all that stuff, and then go closer to Tortuguero. So then in the morning, you can take one of the boats to go over to Tortuguero, because the boat ride is an hour and a half, and the process like isn't. I mean, it's probably maybe it's easier for people that speak Spanish. We don't speak Spanish, so the process was a little tricky. Their boats leave at a certain time, but then it's just guys like driving their boats. Like it's not like a succinct system where like you go, you have your time. It kind of is, but it's the guys kind of leave whenever they want to leave. They come in whenever they want to come in. It was hot. La Pavona is very, very hot. So, but I don't even let's stick to this place. So she also had a little pup, which was really nice. We love animals. We love dogs and cats. This one was very sweet. To scroll fast, my fiance, sometimes she has very thick saliva. I don't know what that's called. She has like a Komodo dragon sometimes. But yeah, he was very cute. So Bwok CR is kind of like an outdoor sort of thing. Like you can see, like it's very open. It's sort of I can't remember what it's called. One of those open air type places. And it was really great. So she brought us to walk around the grounds, which was super nice. It's like on a farm. I mean, I think it was a plantain farm or something like that. But so it was a lot of land. So we're just kind of walking around. Everywhere I went, I had my camera. This was way up in the tree. This was back. There was like a stream, and she walked us back there and showed us some monkeys, and then she gave us some. She cut some fresh cacao, and gave it to us, cut it for us, and she also brought us some fresh. What is it called? Coconut, and some other fruits that I tried as well. So this was the cacao, and you eat this white kind of gooey part. It's very gooey. It's actually a bit hard to get off of this, but it was interesting to try. It wasn't bad. It's very interesting. It doesn't taste like chocolate, and it's not that brown part. You don't eat that. That's hard. But I always like trying fruits and things like that. So Costa Rica obviously is really great for that. Lots of fruits and plants that I've never seen before. Also fresh coconut, very delicious. So this was nice. After getting in and, traveling and getting to a place. And, these places are hot. There's no AC. It's pretty hot. It's pretty warm. But, that's Costa Rica. And you kind of get used to it. This is me talking about the cacao and whatnot. And this place, you drive right up to your cabin. They don't really have much of an online presence, so I just literally found it on Google Maps because it was close to La Pavona, which is where we needed to go for Tortuguero. So we were only supposed to stay here. We were only supposed to get our car and drive here for the night, which also would have been a lot of driving in the dark. So again, I think we're really lucky that we had to come in early to stay at the Wyndham, because we got an early start on the day and we were able to spend a lot of time and walk around on this property, which wound up being beautiful. So again, I can't stress that enough. Just have a travel day. Just have a travel day where you get in and then start bright and early the next day. So this was the second tier. This was the higher tier place that has the two levels. There's another kind of bungalow that only has like one level, but they both look pretty cute. This is where we slept up there, obviously, and it actually cools down at night. So, it actually cools down to the point where you do get under, you get a little chilly and you get under this cover. My fiance and I have separate bedrooms, but we were actually fine in here. I think because traveling and it's hot during the day, and then once it's time to go to bed, you're just like tired. So we actually slept fine in this. There were some bugs downstairs, like some little flying things would come in. Nothing really bad. There wasn't actually any like, we didn't see any spiders or anything inside really. The only thing that would get in is sometimes like, those beetles that kind of fly around, and, we just kind of shuffled them out if they came in, but nothing too bad. And it was really nice up top there. This is the view from the top. Again, this place is Bwok CR, Bewak CR. Of course, this is the bathroom. So it's you go right outside of the room and you go back here. There's a little shower, and this area here is the where the toilet is. Beautiful plants. I do a lot of videos like that for my reels. So as I'm going, I take tons of video for reels. And of course, I just love photography, so I always take a lot of photos. And I told Sarah, I gave her the challenge to take at least 3 photos of me a day, like three, like what are they called? Three, when you're not paying attention, candid, 3 candid photos of me a day. Just because, like, I always take photos of her, and I never really have any photos of myself. You know, she's not like an avid photographer like I am, so I'm always taking photos of her. So this way I can have some photos of myself also to share and things like that. Here's our little cottage. We have our fruits. I don't know what these are. I don't know what these are. These things, they were okay. They sort of tasted like they kind of taste like they might have been like in the squash family or something. So this is our second location. Bewak. Yep. Here's our open space. And we only did carry-ons as well. So we only had our carry-ons because we originally had a very tight rollover from Florida, so we didn't want to risk checking bags, but only having carry-ons is nice. There wasn't a plug upstairs, so that's the only thing. I need a lot of plugs. I gave this place 5 stars, I think, on Google Maps. There wasn't a place for a plug upstairs, but it wasn't there. It would have been nice, but it wasn't really a deal breaker. This isn't the kind of place where you really, I was fine with it, but I was annoyed that you could tell that there was a spot for a plug, but for some reason it wasn't installed. And here's my rig. This was the first rig I made, just an arm with the light because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of night shooting. And this actually worked out okay. It just wasn't bright enough. So I had another light that I'll show you in a minute. So for food, so my fiance is gluten-free and vegan. So we called up beforehand and they said, there's a place to eat it's called Tacobus. I don't know why I keep calling it Autobus. It's called Tacobus. So it's called Autobus and it's right next to this little field and it's just a little place, but I guess they contacted them and let them know that we were coming, let them know that about my fiance's dietary restrictions. So when we got there, they didn't really speak English, but they had Wi-Fi, so we connected to the Wi-Fi and we always use Google Translate. So we have it on our phones and we just use Google Translate. We just connect to the Wi-Fi. Everyone understands Wi-Fi. And then, we could just speak into the phone and then it would translate it and we were able to, communicate that way. And we did that numerous times when we were at a spot where they didn't speak English. But most places have Wi-Fi, so it usually wasn't that bad. My fiance went down to play with cats. She loves cats.
Baby, what is it, baby? What's going on?
Okay, all right. She can't get enough of cats. This is called the Autobus meal, so that's the name of this meal. It is absolutely huge. There's like some like taquitos or whatever, like those like hard, but they're like kind of rolled up, crunchy taco type things underneath here. There's like 3 or 4 of them, and then there's fries. Everything's got this stuff on. It was delicious, absolutely delicious, but huge. This could definitely feed 3 normal-sized people. I ate a lot. This was my fiance's. She's vegan and gluten free, so they were able to, have a meal to accommodate her. So she was happy about that. Again, that's my meal. And then once it got dark, all these kids came and they were just like playing soccer here, and it was just like just really cool. And this is on our way back to Bwok CR. Again, I don't really like driving too much in the dark, but this was only maybe 15-20 minutes away from where we were staying. As long as it's like 15-20 minutes, I'm okay. But again, I'm not really familiar with the roads, so I'm a little nervous always driving at night. Not really back here because we already made it, but just on the roads, really. Oh, I think my fiance was driving at this point in time. Oh, no, actually, I think I was driving. She had pulled in when we had first got there, and she pulled in kind of crazy. But yeah, it's really dark out there. And we had actually talked to the girl, and I told her I was going to be going out at night to look for frogs. So she was like, oh, like, I can come out with you. So me, my fiance, and the young lady, we went out and walked the grounds and looked for frogs. And it was just really fun. It's hot and sweaty. I had bug spray, luckily, because no one else had bug spray. And then we saw, obviously a bunch of toads and stuff like that. Tree frogs. And this is like my bread and butter. This is what I love to do. I love to go out and search for things. I love to look for things. This was on my fiance's butt. This is one of those little beetles. They just kind of fly around. They don't really hurt anything, but sometimes they'll land on you. They're kind of, but they don't, I just kind of, put him back outside. It's another tree frog showing me his butt. There are some big spiders there, but but at night, you walk around with a flashlight or a headlamp. I had both. So it's not like you're really going to walk into lots of spider webs unless you're like walking around in the dark, which you would not want to do in Costa Rica. But if you're planning on taking photos, I would say definitely bring bring like a flashlight for everyone in your party, a headlamp, and personally, I brought an extra, like a video light on a selfie stick. That way someone else can hold it, or you can hold it if you can hold that and the camera at the same time. But there's tons of great things that are out at night, so it's like a different world. And for me, I love taking photos and stuff like that. And at night, we were actually just chilling in our room, and the flashlights that I got from Amazon have this red light on them. So red light won't attract the bugs. So if you're out walking and you have the white lights on, or there's a white light on in your room or whatever, all the bugs and the moths and stuff will be drawn to that. Use the red light. That way you won't get all those things kind of going in front of you. Another thing that will happen is if you have the white light on and you're walking in some places, the moths will fly around you, and then you might see bats that look like they're coming at your head. They're not. They're just going after the bugs, but the bugs are going to be by your light. So sometimes I would be walking and there would be bats that would fly down towards my head, and you can kind of see them and hear them. It's freaky at first, and then it's kind of cool. So this was when was this? Oh, I think this is early in the morning. I think this is really early in the morning. I went out for a walk just to see what I could see. And I walked back. This is where the young lady had brought us the day before. So I knew all this was back there. And I knew if there's water, that's a high possibility for animal activity. So I just took a walk back there. This was the fer-de-lance that I stumbled across back there. It was actually really big. And yeah, I'm always looking around. I have my flashlights and everything like that. So, I saw him, but this is the kind of thing this is the kind of reason that you want to just pay attention where you're going. He wasn't in the middle of the trail. He was like at the base of a tree, but still this is the snake that they warn you about there, and they're there. There's a lot of them there. That's just the reality of it. But as long as you're paying attention, like, you're fine. You know what I mean? Just like watch where you step. There's actually ticks on him too, which I didn't notice until I got home and looked at the photos. Once I went around, I got some other pictures of him. Look at that head, man. These things are, that was really, really scary. I took some videos. I was walking along this path, and this is him here in the middle. And I went around the long way, but very, very scary because, they're out. Look at the size of that head. So yeah, that's the danger. There's also lots of beautiful birds and things like that. There was hummingbirds in the morning when I came out from where the swamp was. There was tons of hummingbirds just humming around, having a good time. And this is where the reach really helped me. This was my first time really traveling with this lens. This is the Tamron 50 to 400 on a Sony A7 IV, and the reach really came in handy. And you know, I really like photography, and it's always tricky to get these guys because they're quick. They don't really stay for a long time, but that's almost everything in Costa Rica. You have to be just really quick on the draw and be able to get it. I think these are the plantains, I think, that they were grown on the farm. And I still find just like all the different kinds of fruits just beautiful little creatures crawling around. I don't know if you saw that. I actually didn't see it when I was taking the video. Cacao. So many different colors and just such beautiful colors. Even things like this. I'm always looking for things that I just find beautiful that might take a beautiful photo. And that's the great thing about the zoom lens. This is the same zoom lens that I can zoom out and get 400 millimeters. I can also get macro stuff. So I was very, very happy with the lens. It just kind of opens up your world. I don't know if I opened that. No, I didn't. Birds. Never really consider myself a birder, but when you're there and there's so many birds and you really want to take a photo. We paid the extra, I don't know, $7 each for breakfast. So she brought us a breakfast, and this was it. Very delicious. That's one thing that it won't be hard to get is breakfast when you go to these places. Most of these places have breakfast either included or it's, not very expensive. And this was great. I'm not really a huge fan of papaya, but I ate it because, why not eat everything? I don't know what I'm saying.
From Bewak CR, we just got breakfast. Went on a morning walk around 5 a.m. Did see some raccoons, snake, a bunch of hummingbirds. Snake was kind of spooky, but now it's time for breakfast, so let me show you that.
My fiance, we actually stopped at a grocery store. I think it's a great idea. Before you're going anywhere, like going out of San Jose especially, or going out of a more populated area, stop at the grocery store. Like just look up on Google Maps, find a grocery store, get snacks. There's a Walmart that's very close to SJO. You can stop at the Walmart, get anything that you might need that you won't have, maybe even for the rest of your trip, because you just never know. Because we were going like Tortuguero is off the beaten path, so you want to make sure you get stuff. Also, we had a cooler. So with Vamos, you can get the cooler. It's free. So we just got some ice from Walmart, and we put ice in the cooler, and that way we could keep the things that we wanted cold. If you ever find these are great to. My fiance had never seen one, so I was excited to show her these little plants. I can't remember what kind of bird makes this, but these are the other cabins. They're sort of like that. They're sort of triangular. More hummingbirds. My fiance hanging out on the thingy. Can't remember what it's called. Hammock. So much beautiful things. So here's La Pavona. So the river boats are actually back here. This was me kind of just walking around. You get there and you pay to go in. So you drive in. I think it's $10 a day, or $10 a day to park. So we were going to be there, I think, two nights. And then it's also, so you pay to park. You also pay for the riverboat to and from your destination. So you pay to go that day, and then they tell you, keep this ticket, text this number on the back. It's a WhatsApp. You definitely want to download WhatsApp. A lot of these places use WhatsApp. All the people use WhatsApp. You have to WhatsApp the number the day before your return. It has some numbers, and it'll tell you, and it'll say when your return options are. So you just text them the day before you want to come back and say, we want to catch like the 10 o'clock, riverboat. And that's kind of how it works. We actually text them and then we didn't hear anything. So we called them because we wanted to make sure that it went through. So But then after we called them, then they responded. It was really hot in there. I think we had to wait like 2 hours because we had had someone that was supposed to come and be there and like be able to take us, but that kind of fell through. So we got there when we got there, and then we had to wait. It was really hot, but we were troopers, so it was fine. And here are the riverboats. Obviously, we had our luggage, but we took out the stuff that we didn't really want to bring to Tortuguero. We're not going to bring 10 days worth of clothes to Tortuguero. We just left it in the car. We didn't feel worried about it. I mean, it's in like the whole lot that's just there for La Pavona. So we only took the clothes that we needed, but you walk all the way down. It's maybe like 200 yards or whatever, 200 meters. You walk all the way down with your stuff to the riverboat, and then you have to figure out kind of which riverboat you're on. Someone walks with you down there, but for us, we had to figure out, kind of ask around and wait with other people that were going at the same place, because it's a little bit, like I was saying, it's a little bit like, these guys are just like taking their boats back and forth. And, when they want to leave, they want to leave. That was a snake I had seen the day before. Inside, it was hot. We didn't get any food. We were just ready to go. And this is my fiance with her suitcase, her nice brand new suitcase. And you just kind of wait there, and then you kind of get on. And these were other people that were going to either our place or somewhere on that route. Our driver, like, I don't know, he was like there. He like packed us. He kind of like walked around, so we were kind of standing there for like 5-10 minutes, and it's just kind of like that sometimes. And then finally we're on the boat and just kind of waiting, and he kind of was walking around again. I'm assuming that maybe he like went to the bathroom somewhere. Yeah, that's him like walking at the end of the frame. We're just walking around, and we're all just like, okay, like we've waited, we're ready to go. But that's kind of how it is. Yeah, this is us. Of course, I have my camera on my lap. I have my camera everywhere all the time. I was not going anywhere without it. So this is the trip to Tortuguero. It's an hour and a half. A lot of it is very slow going. The water was, I guess, pretty low when we went, and that determines, I guess, the speed that they can go and where they could go. Obviously, they know the routes, they know the water, but some of it's like really slow. Like they're going around. Sometimes you could feel the sand hitting the bottom of the boat. Sometimes they would go a little bit faster. And there's these markers around. It's like soda bottles that are like floating. And at first it looks like litter, like trash. But then you kind of realize, okay, this probably shows how low or how high the water level is. But it's actually quite fun. Look at my belly there. It's actually quite fun because it really feels like you're on an expedition. It really feels like you're going somewhere really remote. I mean, you are going somewhere really remote, but it actually feels like it. I've never like gone on a riverboat somewhere where it's like, to come, like it's a lot to get out there. It's not just like, traveling somewhere easy. Like you have to go through a lot of steps, and you really have to be, take what you need, because, there's not, I mean, there's the hotels, the places you're staying, but people are excited about chickens. So you can hear the boat. So they maneuver. And obviously they do this all the time, so they kind of know the more deep sections. So a lot of times it was like that, and sometimes it'd be a little bit faster. Sometimes the terrain would get a little bit different the deeper you would go. And everyone just has their eyes peeled. Everyone just has their eyes peeled for wildlife and things like that. Eventually you start seeing lizards that are super camouflaged. Oi. And there's all these little beaches. A few times we saw some like smaller caiman. Lots of birds. There was picked up some speed there. Lots of birds along the way. They're kind of hard to get from the boat, but... And you get deeper out there and it really, really starts to look like Jurassic Park. And then in some areas, obviously, it goes really fast. But you sit, they tell you to put your life vest on, but no one really had it on, so we took ours off. Your stuff is kind of like packed in the back of the boat, and then you just sit in the little seats. But it's an hour and a half, so it's like, the seats are hard, so it's not the most comfortable, but it's fun, it really makes it feel like an adventure. And I don't think this was this might be our place. So there was a few stops that we made until we got to Mawamba. That must have been our stop. So this is Mawamba. This was actually the first room that we were supposed to be staying in. And I do these walkthroughs. Most of the places I stayed in, I do at least a little bit walkthrough, mostly for my mom. But shortly after this, someone came and upgraded they said we have better rooms. So they put us in a different room, which we actually like better. So let's see. I think that might be the next one. Yeah, so this is the newer rooms.
Switch to the new room. There's Sarah relaxing. You like the new room better?
I do. I love an upgrade.
So here's the new room. It's much brighter and lighter.
Much brighter and lighter. So we were happy about that.
Is this bathroom bigger? I didn't see the other bathroom.
Sure. It's nicer.
And we have the
No AC.
somewhere behind us. We're gonna go check that.
No AC, but it did have fan that we utilized. And great, we really enjoyed it there. The staff was really nice. The property is really beautiful. The reception, all that stuff is really nice. It's really lodgy, which I kind of like that feel. This is where all the bungalows and stuff are. Lots of wildlife right on the property. Lots of dogs, really like sweet dogs that are always around. They're very cute. Sometimes they'll be in like the food areas, just kind of like sleeping. They might sleep under your table. But they're very sweet. And this is the frog pond or frog road, whatever it is. There's this little area, and I just thought it was like a cute little area that they had made. I didn't realize it was actually like a frog place, but we'll get more into that later. So we came in by river, and it's very narrow, the spot where there's a river and then there is ocean. So you walk behind the lodge and then you get to the ocean. So this is the first little turtle that we saw, and we really didn't think that he was going to make it. We saw some other people that were standing. It was a bit weird, because we were trying to figure out why they were standing there, and then they let us know that this little guy was kind of struggling, so they were just kind of stand there.
Come on, baby. Come on, girl. You can do it. You can do it while you're too tired. Huh?
So again, yeah, this is at Mawamba Lodge. Turtle season, I think, goes up until October. So I really wanted to do turtle season, and we were at the tail end of it. I can't remember when it starts. I think sometime in the summer is when all the mama turtles keep. I think the mother turtles were still going up to the beach, but
You can do it, baby.
obviously there's a lot of babies that are still making their way to the ocean.
Come on.
And I actually think
Baby.
my fiance actually took all of these videos on her phone.
Turn around, honey.
So I did a short on this little guy. So sweet. He does make it down, and we really didn't think he was going to make it at first because he was very lethargic. So we were really excited when he actually started moving and started making his way. So cute. This was, and let me tell you, like Mawamba, we love Mawamba Lodge. It's always going to be a memorable place for us. This was absolutely magical, getting to see these little turtles and just be a part of their first moments. Like, it's just one of those unforgettable things. And like, this is the reason that, you know, you go on these adventures and you go on these journeys. So it's, you know, it was really, really something.
Good job, baby.
Here's some more photos of him. I was taking a lot of photos. There I am. Oops. He's clicking away, and he's trucking away. And they, you know, they really go, you know, they go straight to the water, you know, and they kind of, you know, looking at this, you're like, you feel kind of bad because he's going over all these obstacles, but, you know, they just find a way. You know, they just make it work. Bunch more photos. Kind of makes his way all the way down. And the beach closes at 6 and opens at 6. So at around 5, it starts to get really dark. So you'll notice that all my photos get progressively darker because it was a while for him to get down there. So my fiance crying. There he goes. And then he goes to start the rest of his life, and it was really, really, you know, really special. Here's one turtle. I don't know when this is from. This is probably really old, but there are jaguars as well. So there's jaguars there, and you know, they can get some of the turtles. There's way more turtles than there are jaguars, so this is very, you know, it's not like there's a ton of this all over the beach or anything like that, you know. So we were walking around. You just walk up and down the beach, you know, and you kind of keep your eyes open because you never know when the turtles are going to be, you know, heading down to the water. We were room number 41. And these are just some shots I was doing for reels of the, you know, of the space. This is Katanga. This is the restaurant. It's a floating restaurant. I actually didn't realize that they leave. We didn't get to go on it because we went to a different place to eat the one night that we were there, or one of the nights that we were there. But so we didn't get to go on it. This was early the next morning. We did a canoe tour through the canals. Also, we had already bought our, what's it called? So if you go to the website, there are, if you go to the national park website for Tortuguero, you can get your tickets, like you can get your passes to be able to go through the canals and stuff like that. And they did need them. So we had our number that we got for getting the passes for 2 people for the date that we were going to be there. We had that, so we were able to give it to him, so we didn't have to worry about that. It's a little confusing. It's probably easier if you speak Spanish, which we don't, so I'm like translating the website. It's not the greatest website, but if you're going to be doing the canals and stuff like that, it's worth it to get pay that, I don't know, 15 bucks each or 17 bucks each. So this was the canoe tour. The canoe tour was at 6 a.m. We went through the hotel. So these guys are with the hotel, with Mawamba Lodge. Oh, and you see a lot of these so well camouflaged, but you know, when if you're looking for them, then you can definitely see them out there. But they're very well camouflaged. I don't even see. Oh yeah, he's right in the middle of the frame. Right here. And those are photos that I took from that far away. It's just I think these are my fiance's photos. But the zoom was great. And this guy was up in a tree. And this is why you need that extra length. I think this is my fiance's photo. This is why you want the reach for shots like this. So happy that I had this camera, because it's just, if you're gonna go and you're gonna do all this stuff, for me it's like I want to see it. That's the same lizard from the canoe. I think this is a blue heron, I think. I think this is a, oh, what is it called? A boat nose? Boat beak? I can't remember. It's not a shoe bill. Boat bill, I think. Those huge eyes. And this was what I was really looking forward to, going into these like little dark canals, going into these areas. This is where it really feels like you're just in another world. And you really are, you know, especially for us coming from the city. And we were very happy with the tours. We did this tour. We also did a night tour with Mawamba. We were very happy with them. There was 4 of us on this canoe, 4 of us and the guide. And this is when we saw our first little caiman in the water. There he is, right here. There he is. And it's one of those things, you know, I was nervous, you know, because you don't really know what you're going to see. So there's a lot of animals that I was hoping to see, that I really wanted to see, but you just don't know. But that's the best part about Costa Rica and doing these tours and things like that, is like, I mean, these animals are out there, you know. It's not just like there's the land is so well suited for them, and they're so well suited for the land that they're just there. They're there hunting, they're there eating. So it's nice. More iguanas up in trees. I didn't realize they were such good climbers. I think this was a monkey. It was really, really far away. Only got a few blurry shots of it. And here's the other caiman. I got some really nice shots of this guy. Love this shot. And this is another reason I was just so happy to have this lens. This is probably about the actual distance. Here we go, traveling back. My guy in the back. That's me. All business. So excited for all this stuff. Only time I'm excited to wake up at 6 a.m. And this is us heading back for breakfast. Breakfast is at, I think, I can't remember, maybe 6 to 9 or something like that. Or 7 to 9 or something. So they bring you back so you have plenty of time, you know, for breakfast. I think I was just testing out my camera. I had water shoes for that as well. So I wound up bringing low top Vessies that are waterproof, kind of higher top Vessies that were also waterproof. This was the breakfast at the hotel. So we had, I think breakfast is free. You get fruit, and then you get like, I think I had pancakes after this or something like that. But initially, you get a little fruit plate and juice and stuff like that. That's rambutan at the bottom. Little piece of coconut, which I don't really like coconut. The banana, very good. Pineapple, some cuts of papaya, and some watermelon. And this is the Mawamba Lodge. Behind it, it leads out to the ocean side. You can't swim in it though. I think the riptides are too dangerous, and I think probably the marine life is a little too dangerous there. I don't really know, but definitely can't swim in it. Of course, I had to bring the drone. Oh, I think this is Sarah's meal. I think this is another drone shot. I actually hadn't used the drone in a long time, so I had to actually rush and buy from Amazon a new battery because I hadn't used it for a few years and the batteries just went, they weren't working. So I had to buy a new battery. But it was worth it because when I go to some of these places, I'm like, I don't know when the next time I'm going to be here. I want to get some aerial shots. I was trying to go up really high so I could get the ocean side and the river side. It's a little overexposed, but yeah, this is the river side, and then here's the ocean side, which is pretty crazy. And it's not a long distance. It's not a long distance across. Very interesting landscape. And I had forgotten that you can turn down the exposure on the drone. This would have been a much nicer shot if I would have lowered the exposure, but it is what it is. Oh, you know what? It actually would have been cool to walk all the way down to the end. We never walked all the way down to the end. And I have an old Mavic Pro. Again, I packed everything in my carry-on. Mavic Pro is a little big now. The drones that they have now are quite a bit smaller. I thought about getting a small one, but with as much money as I spent on this trip and all that, I couldn't justify getting a new drone. I mean, it would have been nice, would have been cool, but I didn't really need a new drone. Trying to get myself situated. There's actually a lot of trees, so when I came down, I had to be careful not to nip any trees. Also, because you don't want to damage the drone just as much as you don't want to really damage the plants. My fiance would always bring coffee back to the room and put it in we would get ice from the bar. They were really nice at the bar, so we were able to they would just give us big bags of ice that we could keep in our room to keep the stuff that we wanted cold. So that was always nice. Hammock time again. So this is the little frog area that I didn't realize at night there's actually frogs there. So it's really cute, but I just thought it was just like a little something you just walk through. I did not realize. And they also had this little tank with like little tadpoles and stuff in it. So I guess maybe they, I don't know, repopulate that little area. I called this Pineapple Row because it had these little, I don't think they're pineapples, but they look like pineapples, baby pineapples. Star fruit and some of the trees on the grounds, just random little touches. These again for reels. These are like little common areas and stuff like that. Really pretty. This dog was hanging out with Sarah. And this is right on the riverside. Some fish and stuff all in there. think I was trying to get the fish. Oh yeah, you can kind of see them right here. Oh, two big fish right here. We had our coconuts. These were actually really tiny coconuts. They were only like $2 or something, but there was really not much in there. Cute, but not much in there. My fiance's meal. This was my burger. Actually, very good. You can tell those fries are deep fried to perfection. That was actually quite good. And you don't want to lose this. This is what gets you back and says that you already paid and all that stuff. So, and so we had to WhatsApp them so we'd know. So we'd next day we'd be able to get back. Hanging out. Me and my drone. Oh, that outfit is actually quite terrible. I didn't realize. Hanging out on the beach. Also, the mosquitoes come out around 4 or 5 p.m. when it starts to get dark. The mosquitoes definitely come out on the beach, and they got me. And actually, the first night when we were eating, the mosquitoes got us as well. So, just be aware of that. There are mosquitoes once it gets dark. It's incredible how big the plants are. Like, it's kind of crazy. Nice little shot of the docks and the boats leaving. Just some beautiful spots out on the beach. There's vultures as well. Obviously, it's part of the food chain. Another little guy making his way. It was very dark, so I couldn't really get a lot of good shots of him. And that night we went to a different hotel, so we took a little taxi to eat. So we had a little like date night. Oh no, this night actually we were going to the night walk. The next night we actually did the other thing. So this was some toads. These are bullet ants. These are huge. These are probably like a little less than an inch long. Very big ants. And this was a really, really cool night walk. Lots of information. I'm a little, I'm always the last one. We did a few night walks, and I'm always the last one because like I'm so focused on looking for everything. I'm so slow, and with my flashlight and finding stuff. But I was able to find. I think this is one of the deadly spiders. He's eating something. I was able to find the first red-eyed tree frog that we found on this walk, and personally for me is the frog that I was hoping to see. I was so excited to see it, and also because I was the last one, and I'm like, oh, I think I see a red-eyed tree frog, so I was really excited. I think this is a banana spider. I think it is. Looks just like a leaf. Like, this is insane. And this was the first one. This is the one that I saw. And I was so excited to see it because, not being there, I didn't know if I was going to go and just like not see one. I keep seeing pictures and, that other people have of them, but I really wanted to see one. So it was really special for me to be able to find one and see one. He was hiding out, trying to blend in. My lights worked out really nicely as well. It's such a beautiful creature. I think this was another one that we saw shortly after that one. Can't remember the name of all these frogs, but beautiful yellow, just stuck to that leaf. What is this? I don't even know what this was. Oh, I had seen there was I think a crab in there that I had some, but I couldn't really get a good look at it. But definitely a crustacean. And then we went to this other little place to have a date night because I think this was at Tortuga Lodge because they had a menu that Sarah was interested in, being gluten free and vegan. So we had looked at a bunch of places around. So we wound up going to this little place. They put a little chair in the corner. We felt it was really something special. It was really the meal was great, and it just felt very special. Like when we got there, we literally felt like we were celebrities or something, because like it had the tables and then there was just this one table in the corner, and it was just like it was so sweet. We were hot. We had just came from a night walk, but it was really nice. It was really great. The bread was good. The butter was delicious. Our food was good. I mean, it was beautiful. The waiter was phenomenal. Like the service was phenomenal. It was just a beautiful evening. Everything was just so delicious, and everything was so nice, and we really felt special that night. And our waiter took some photos of us there. We were hot too. Just came from walking around in the woods at night. You can see the mark from my headlamp and my hat and stuff. So this was the Wilderness Lodge. I'm not sure what the restaurant was called, but it's another. So this is when I got back to Mawamba Lodge, and I was walking through the frog pond thing, and I'm like, there's all these frogs there, and I'm like, look, this is the frog I'm dying to see, and it's right on the property when I get back. Like, I'm so glad I went out with my camera just to walk around, and I walked through the frog pond, and I got some of my most beautiful shots. And then they have these other, like, look at this frog. Like, it's just all these frogs. I was in heaven. Like, literally, I was in heaven, and I was like trying to use my lights and set up my camera, and by set up, I just mean like get the settings right. Everything, like I handheld everything, and then I had my light, so I would hold out my light and try to get the pictures of the frogs and try to get the best as I could, because also it's dark out. So but yeah, I was really in heaven, and all it was just this little tiny little frog pond area that was right next to the pool area, right on the property. This beautiful little purple frog. Like it just was so much more than I bargained for. I couldn't focus on it, actually. I don't know if it's because it was so translucent, but the camera couldn't focus on it. The video camera, at least, or my iPhone. And these are some of my favorite shots. So happy with these shots. Just such a beautiful creature. And this is like one of the things that was on my bucket list to go to Costa Rica and to see one of these frogs and to photograph one of these frogs. I'm sure if you're there, I mean, there's a lot of them there now that I've been there and seen, but you just don't know. Like you have to really go and look for some of these things, and it was just so worth it. So I tried, I took a bunch. I didn't want to bother them, obviously, like with my lights and stuff like that, but they were all pretty chill. So I just took a bunch, and this is the next morning. The beach opens at 6, so I was up at like 5:30, ready to go out and look for some more turtles.
So we found this hole where there's a bunch of turtles that didn't make it. We saw the vultures, but if you dig down, there's some still in there.
So this is obviously very, very controversial. Because we saw the vultures, so we kind of just walked over and we saw, and there was one turtle that was just at the bottom of this thing. There was flies and ants, and I mean, and I could tell that it was still alive, so I just sort of like lifted it up, and the ants were biting my hands, so it was really kind of a very sad situation, and I didn't know if it was alive or not, but then it kind of moved when I lifted it up, and so I just kind of left it there, like outside of the hill where he was trying to climb out of. I left it there, and then Sarah came, and Sarah was watching it, and we were just hoping that it was going to move. And yeah, and that's the, I didn't know if there was any other turtles down there. I know there was a bunch of ants because I had bites all over my hands. So I was just kind of moving the sand around, and then there was another one right there. So we just kind of lifted that one out. And but that was it. There was only these two. I don't know if they were the last two. I don't know if there was any more in there. We like, obviously we know we're not really supposed to like do any of that or dig for them, but it's really hard when you're there because it's such a sad thing, and you see the vultures, and I know the balance of the ecosystem and life and things like that, but when you're right there and it's like, okay, am I gonna let this little turtle just get eaten by these ants or these flies, and have this death this way? And you're kind of like, okay, like I'm just gonna take it and I'm just gonna put it a foot away from all that stuff and just stand near it and watch it and hope that it comes to. One of them was a little lethargic, kind of stayed a little lethargic. We think that one was probably gone, but it was still moving a little bit. But it's hard to tell. So we did as much as we could. We kind of waited for it. He eventually went down a little bit, and the water kind of took him. We hoped that he would kind of. This guy was good. This guy was very strong. Went right towards the water, didn't stop, so he's doing well. And that's kind of the way it goes. We know that a lot of these turtles aren't going to make it. That's the reality. That a lot of them just aren't going to make it, and you're just happy to be there when the ones that do make it, get to the water. And it really is something special, because you're with these guys. It's the first moment of their lives, and you're with them for 15 minutes, and it's pretty special. They move so fast too. I couldn't really get a good photo. He was really trucking. I know we already seen a lot of turtle ones, but yeah, he was really trucking. And it's kind of special. You're there with, like, there's some people that obviously will hang out and kind of watch the journey, and it's just a special moment. Even if you're with these people for like 5 or 10 minutes, it's just like you just all feel like you're just in it together. And the most important thing is this little tiny life that has just started and is making his way on its journey. And it's you don't really know if you're gonna see them. I mean, I think that's the gamble. You go, and none of this stuff, you're just not really sure if you're gonna see what you want to see. And this was what I was really like hoping to see and looking forward to. So it was really, really special, and it was really special for Sarah as well. Some really good shots of him, because this was in the morning, so it was actually getting lighter, which helped my shooting. But still very difficult to get these little rascals because they start moving so fast. It's a good shot that I doctored up in Photoshop. Got some of him right when he got to the water. And these are some of the same dogs that were at Mawamba. They run around and playing on the beach. And they actually, people were very nervous around like the turtles and stuff, but I don't really think they go after the turtles. They did go after the vultures though. So anytime they saw a vulture, they were like, get this thing out of here. So they would run after the vultures. So that was kind of like, that was kind of cool. There I am. We have these, and I have these in my backyard. And these, you can tell that these are trails from some of the mama turtles. Here's the reception. Sarah's sitting there. Oh, so we had left. So we left. This was at a soda. A soda is just one of the little restaurant, like a little side street restaurant. And the lady didn't speak English, but luckily someone that was in there spoke English. And I was just like, like, hey, I just want that, and that. And they relayed. People were really nice. She was so sweet. It was just like connected to a house. I think I got the name of it. I'll have to put the name of it. But the food was really good. Delicious. Not very expensive. And this was on the way back to La Fortuna, which was the second part of our stay. It's me enjoying my food and my Coca-Cola. And this was the little soda.
Soda La Bamba. I think this place is called Soda La Bamba.
I don't think it's called that.
Is that what it says?
Soda Donna Maria,
Maybe.
I think it is. Yeah, Soda Donna Eva. Shout out to Soda Donna Eva. I like to get photos of these little places so I can leave reviews and, hopefully bring them more businesses. So I try to take photos and, really document this stuff. So we were staying at the Arenal Manoa Hot Springs Resort. So it rained a little bit. It's going to say, and anyone that's going and worry about rain, like, don't worry about rain. It's really silly to worry about rain because it's a rainforest. So it's going to rain. It rains every day, but it's different. It's its own kind of rain to where it'll just rain sometimes and then it'll be like absolutely fine. So don't be afraid that it says that it's going to rain every day, because it is going to rain every day, but it's not going to matter. You're not going to care. And it's not going to be terrible. We only got caught in rain a handful of times. One of them we were down at like a waterfall and like it rained for a little bit, but
Someone out there might know
it's fine.
what that's a quote from.
Oh, what did I say? I don't know what I said. Let me see what I said.
You're being recorded.
Someone out there might know.
Oh, I don't know what I said. So this was the long gravelly road to Arenal Manoa, and then eventually it was paved. But still, it's like sometimes you're going and you're like, how far down does this go? So this is Arenal Manoa. It's a bigger property, and it's almost like a little neighborhood. It's very clean, very nice. I had to go in and give my the license plate number. So we were in bungalow 242. It's very beautiful. You could kind of see the volcano, but the only thing is there's a lot of clouds. So you probably, unless it's timed perfectly and you catch it at the right times, it's going to be kind of cloudy at the top of the volcano.
Hotel Arenal Manoa. We're walking to our chateau.
Actually, I don't think is this a chateau? The chateau might have been the nicer ones. We didn't get one of the super nice ones. We couldn't afford that. We were hoping that they would, hook us up. Because if they did, I would have did a bomb video about it.
For Sarah.
But it was really nice. And there's like chocolates and sweets. Sarah couldn't eat any, so I had to eat all of them. They were like in the fridge. Super nice. The door was quite loud, so that was one thing. You could tell that they had squirted WD-40 on the joints, but the door was still quite loud.
Here's our room.
Cute little thing. Room was clean, AC. Loved the bathroom in this place.
Beautiful outdoor space. Cute little table. Little bathroom. We have our 2 beds.
Also, in between here, like,
Release.
obviously Tortuguero was an hour and a half or so, like, back to our car at La Pavona. And then it was like maybe like a 3 hour, 3.5 hour drive from La Pavona
Nice little wide.
to the Arenal area. So it was quite the drive. Love this bathroom. Again, this is the Arenal Manoa Hot Springs and Resort. I don't know if I got any video of the actual hot springs. They're quite small. There's 2 of them. There's one that is near the where you have dinner, and then there's one near the front where we first came in. Oh, these are the suites. They were delicious. And this was by the hot tub. We went down to the hot tub, or not the hot spring, and this little guy was there, and I got some of the most amazing shots. Super excited. We had dinner. The menu really wasn't my kind of thing. They did have a lot of stuff that Sarah could eat, vegan and gluten-free, but I honestly wasn't really that crazy about the menu. This was the breakfast. The breakfast was good. There's these little like flies that are like love all the sweet stuff, so we're kind of hanging out. So they were a bit annoying at first until I learned how to deal with them, because I got like pancakes and stuff, so I had to get a little bowl, put the syrup in there, but then cover it. And then we were fine. But if you have syrup or jam or something like that, these little flies, they're not really that. I mean, they're not really like regular house flies. I don't know what kind of flies they are. They're a little more innocent looking and flying. Like you almost feel bad for them because sometimes they fall in the jam. But yeah, so just if you have syrup or jam, just cover it at your table. Also, there's birds in this area that sometimes they'll come down and snatch. So just be aware of that. We went to the Bogarin Trail because we wanted to see some sloths. And there was we really liked the Bogarin Trail. So we walked around it. There was tons of wildlife. You're not going to spot any sloths on your own. That's the reality of it. You're not going to spot any sloths on your own. Even the Bogarin Trail, where apparently there's a ton of them. The ones we did see, like people were like, oh, there's like a sloth there. So we were able to they kind of showed us. But yeah. We're glad that we didn't take a tour though, because the tours move so fast and they go to these certain spots. They know where the sloths are and you look, but that's not really what we wanted to do. We wanted to go around and just take photos and just enjoy and just walk around at our own pace, which is what we did. And I really loved it. There was so much wildlife and birds and things like that. So I was able to get a ton of photos. And here's the first sloth that we saw that someone had showed us. So of course I had to get some shots of him. It would have been cool to get one like kind of coming down, but I think you got to be really lucky to kind of get one coming down to the ground. But lots of birds. I think this is like some sort of hive. Oh, I think sometimes I took photos because we weren't sure if we were seeing a sloth or not. So there he is. Shout out to Vessi. Waterproof sneakers. You want waterproof sneakers. And these were great because they're waterproof and they were high. So I wore those they were my go-tos. And I was really looking for a green and black dart frog. Couldn't find any, but we did find these strawberries. Sarah especially got really good at spotting them and seeing them. There's also these little red berries on the ground sometimes too. So even though these guys look like they don't blend in, they kind of blend in because there's little red flowers and little red berries and stuff like that. But obviously I love frogs, so it was really cool to see all these little guys. You kind of hear them too. You start to get to recognize their sound, and then you kind of hear them. Leaf cutters, of course. I think Sarah took this. I refuse to take any videos or pictures of leafcutter ants because all the Costa Rica videos have leafcutter ants, and you will obviously see a ton of leafcutter ants. But Sarah was excited by them, so I'll leave it in. Lots of little lizards running around, farting around together. You can tell they're male and female because they're just like, but there's a lot of them too around. Leaf cutters. And these guys would always be rustling, like you'd be walking and you just hear like this loud rustling, and then it's like, oh, these lizards again, running around. Sarah saw a couple of these. I actually didn't see any, but Sarah saw a agouti. Strange looking plants. More straw. We call them strawberries. I think they really call them blue jean frogs, but for me, what's more significant is the red. So I like to call them little strawberries, strawberry dart frogs. It's a lot of photos. I was actually quite uncomfortable because I was trying to get really close, and like, so I'm like down, kneeling in like dead leaves and everything. It's, but you got to get in there for the shot. You really got to get in there. Again, this is why you want that reach. Look at him, his dirty beak. Oh, there we go. Sarah got this. I didn't even get this video. This is Sarah. It's really cool. It's dirty beak. I think these are Sarah's shots. Leaf cutters. Strawberries. Oh, there's me trying to get, I don't know what I was trying to get down there. Lots of birds, lots of flowers. It's really a paradise if you like to take photos. This ugly thing. God, my neck is so far forward. I really got to work on my posture. And those 3 meals a day, man, they really stay on my body. Strawberries. Really excited to see this toucan. So I'm lucky I was able to get at least a few shots of him or her. Oh, yeah, that's right. These are much nicer. Sometimes I try to, I want to get the shot, but then it's like I need to change some settings. So it's like, it's a little tricky because everything is so fast paced, especially birds. You'll be getting a shot or trying to get a shot, and then it'll just be gone. I think this is a monkey, I think. Oh no, that's a sloth. Yeah, it's a sloth. Butterflies. I think this was at the end. And this is back in our, oh no, we're still on the trail. Shot of the volcano. The camouflage is so good. And here we're leaving. Where are we going? Oh, I think we're just going back to the hotel. Oh yeah, we were just going back to the hotel. Well, I think it was actually raining. But again, it only rains for like, I don't know, 10 minutes. And then we did a night walk with Arenal Oasis, and it was such a phenomenal night walk. I love these photos. This frog is so beautiful. It was a really great night walk. Anytime you want to, like, if you're in La Fortuna area, Arenal Oasis. I think his name is Juan. I've seen him on Facebook actually, but this was a really great night walk. And I got some amazing shots. And for these shots, I took my selfie stick with the light on it, so Sarah would be lighting, and then I would just be able to take the photo. I think some of these I edited. I'm not sure if the edited ones are actually in here. And sometimes I would just take a lot because since it's handheld and since it's so dark, it's easy for them to be out of focus. So sometimes if I would take a few extra just to make sure they were in focus. This is actually, I think this is the red-eyed tree frog eggs. It could be a different kind of frog, I'm not sure, but these are the eggs. Sometimes there's snakes that will eat these eggs right off the underside of the leaf. This was a snake up in the tree. I think it was some sort of viper up in the tree. Couldn't really get a good picture of it though. And this is actually a turtle. It's kind of hard to see, but this turtle, here's the head. Like here's the head, here's the nose, this is the eye, this is the mouth. It was kind of like ambling through this swamp, which was cool because you don't really hear a lot about turtles there. And this frog was actually like an orange color. It looks like just the photograph is off, but it was a beautiful color orange. And here's another yellow one. And this was the eyelash pit viper. So this was something that I never thought that I would see in Costa Rica. I really wanted to see it. So beautiful. So I was really happy that we got to see one on this night walk with the Arenal Oasis. And again, we booked this through our hotel. We booked the night walk that they had on the Arenal Manoa. This was through our hotel. I think it was like $50 or $60 a person. We saved like $5 each because we drove to the Arenal Oasis. Beautiful snake. It was pretty high, so like I kind of had to hold my camera up over my head and use the flip out screen to be able to see. And Sarah just held the light up so I could get some shots. But that was really special for me to be able to see that snake. I got some more frogs. Stick bug. This is a hognose pit viper. Beautiful snake. This was actually like on the trail, like obviously off to the side, but it's so special seeing snakes because you don't really see them that much and they're very hard to spot. And it's very special seeing these guys. It's a little spooky, but they just chill. So kind of like, they're dangerous, but they don't really come after you. And then after the night walk, we went to get some food. This little taco place in La Fortuna, which was delicious. We really enjoyed it. And there's a place, it's called Market something. It's like a little market and it has all these places that are connected. It's right in La Fortuna. Tacos Chinjones, I guess that's what this place is called. I can't remember. Oh no, I think this isn't Mexica. Is it Mexica? Mercadito Arenal. Sugar. I got sugar. You see this place? Got this one of the other nights. It was delicious. But you can't find it on Google Maps. It doesn't exist. This was right behind our bungalow. This beautiful red bamboo. We're just chilling. Breakfast the next morning. We would take one of those little clementines or whatever to go each day as well. And then we go fill up our ice and put stuff in the cooler, and then we would have it. Bitter ginger plant, my favorite plant in Costa Rica. And the liquid, you squeeze it and you get the liquid on your hand and your fingers and you smell it and it smells like ginger. It's weird. It's very weird. Oh, this is when Sarah got the email that her bar results were in and she passed the bar. It was right at that moment when she got it, and it was just like, it was pretty tense, because it's a big deal, but she passed.
So these are my favorite plants with flowers.
I made a reel about that little thing, so you can find my reel. It's another boat bill. This was down, I think this is jackfruit. I think that's what Sarah said, that was jackfruit. This is down by the little lake that's near the place where you eat. People don't really go down. We didn't really see anyone else down there, but I like to explore everywhere, so I went down there. to see what was going on. Beautiful flowers. These guys are kind of all over the place, and honestly, like, you might not even see that. They stay very still, and you would probably not even see them. Like, here he is right here. They're very hard to spot, but there's like just so many of them. And he actually allowed me to get up pretty close to him. So I was able to get some really nice shots. I think these are Sarah's shots. Crazy looking fungi. And it was nice to walk down these areas where I guess they do like the spa treatment and stuff like that, but there wasn't really anyone over there, but it was just beautiful. So we were just kind of walking and exploring. So this was one of the days we went to Mundo Arenal Adventures, I think it was. What was the acronym? Mundo Adventures. Mundo Adventure Park, I think it was. So, but yeah, so we went, almost said skydiving, ziplining. AMA, big AMA. There you go, big AMA. And this was Sarah's first time, and she loved it. Of course, she was afraid of heights, but a lot of the things that she does, she loves. Especially things that you would think someone who's afraid of heights would be afraid of. She just enjoys it. So he's waiting for the guy the other side to signal that it's okay for her to go. It's me and my gut. These are my low top vesties. They're waterproof. I don't think it's worth it to go to Costa Rica if your sneakers aren't waterproof. And we liked it. We had a good time. The first time I went to Costa Rica, we did the zip lining in Monteverde, which was really cool, really beautiful. This one was fun as well. So I'm happy that we went. I'm happy that Sarah went. I'm happy that she enjoyed it. And you basically walk up. I think it's maybe 12 zip lines. So you take a tractor up, and then you walk up maybe another like 15 minutes or so. You kind of walk up. It's a little bit of a, like, you do have to be able to walk and have a, we were fine, but you do have to walk up a little bit of a steep hill for like maybe 15-20 minutes. But then after that, you start taking like all the zip lines back down. Think I make it. I only got stuck once. And look, on my hand, I have my Insta 360. So there's a magnet in my glove, and then the camera's outside of my glove attached to the magnet. Because I was trying to figure out how I can get certain shots. Because both hands are being utilized. So that was the way that I figured I could get both my shots. But you watch a little video, and honestly, like, the guides are nice, and it's pretty simple. Once you do one, even if you're nervous, once you do one, you kind of understand like what you do. You kind of understand everything, and it's not scary at all. And sometimes you might get stuck if you don't come all the way across. In which case, you just turn around, and then you just kind of like pull yourself, like one hand over the other. So like instead of your feet going first, you spin so your head is like facing where you want to go, and then you just pull yourself like with the like on the cable. And it's usually only like 10 or 15 feet or something like that, but it happened to me once. The only thing is I had to be careful because of course I had my camera on the magnet on my hand, so I was like, I don't want to like make any fast movements and my camera fall off. But other than that, it was fine. And here's just some B-roll after the fact. And then we went to, I can't remember what this place was called, but we ate at this cute little place. The food was very good. And this was one of the other places that had options for Sarah. Chante Verde. This is my burger. It was actually really good. And the bun was actually not soggy at all. The bun just like looked like that, and everything was delicious. It was really good. Oh, this was the city center of La Fortuna, fountain, flowers, and things like that. And actually, there was more when they did room service. They had more treats, and I was eating so much all day, like most of the days, but I made sure to eat these. In the pool, oh god, these photos are gonna be weird. We were just being silly in the pool. Let me float through these, because these are gonna be weird. Oh, these are okay. There's Sarah. I was gonna get such a beautiful photo, but then some of the people were just like hanging out there. I was gonna get a beautiful video / photo. Oh, I think these are mine. I think these are my zip lines. Again, this was Big AMA. And we actually chose this one because we liked it. I looked it up. I couldn't really find that much about it, but it wasn't that expensive compared to the other ones. But we really didn't understand why, because from everything that I saw on it, it was beautiful. The rain did hurt, and I did get slapped in the face once, because the guy says, like, obviously we're kind of close to the trees, and what happens is sometimes when it rains, and that can cause the branches to sag. So I don't think it was that one that I got hit. I think it was a different one. So it was one of these where I get slapped in the face. You gotta assume the position. Really beautiful. The rain did hurt a little bit because it starts to come in. You're probably going like 60 miles an hour. And you can see the rain looks like it's coming right towards me. And let's see where I get slapped. Oh, I think it was one of those where I got slapped. Still fun though. I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I thought I wasn't gonna make it across this one. To break yourself, you pull down. I wasn't pulling down at all, but sometimes, But I was glad that I actually made it in the end. I think this is Sarah coming through. Oh no, this is me going. The Insta 360 is not as high res video as, and also I'm looking at this through Google Photos. It's not as high res as the GoPros, but the maneuverability and just how light it is and how small it is and how you can just take it and it works by magnets have been well worth it. Because I don't want to really, I don't want to have like a rig on myself or like a harness or anything. But this little thing is so small and so tiny, and the magnets work well, so that worked out for me. Oh, this is actually where I get stuck. I have to spin around. So I just spin, and then I just use my hands to pull myself. But I have to go really slow because I don't want to knock my camera off. So, but it was fine. I mean, it only took like a minute or two for me to, 30 seconds for me to get to the end. I don't know where that was.
Alright, what's up guys? So here in Costa Rica, here's my Sony A7 the Tamron.
This is my night setup.
400 lens, a regular flashlight, and so here is the selfie stick. It's actually for my Insta Go 3. It's like a little action cam, just a regular top. So what I do,
Excuse my sniffles.
light from Ulanzi, and it's got a bunch of different colors and stuff like that. It's a video light. Turn it on, and it's pretty bright. It's
My nose was running. I don't know why I was running that
what I
night.
do was take this light,
I apologize.
use this thread to just put it on the selfie stick. So then I have a light that I can extend. This extends to about maybe 4 feet, 4.5 feet or so. So then I can just put the light out, hold the light with one hand, hold my camera with the other hand, and shoot. It's a little precarious. It's a heavy lens, but it works. And also the headlamp, of course. So we're gonna go back into this little area, see what we can find. All right, what's up? So this is how cool I look. Got my flashlight, headlamp, camera, fanny pack, and I have my other light down here.
I brought that fanny pack everywhere. And this is actually where the hot spring was in the Arenal Manoa.
So even the sounds, since I've been here, I've learned to kind of understand the sounds. So first, right off the bat, got this cool iguana just chilling here.
And this is with my iPhone.
See what else we can find right off the bat. But yeah,
This was the hot spring.
this is the natural hot spring on the property that we were just here enjoying the hot spring. Super comfortable and like surrounded by all of this. It's like amazing.
I think the water
What else we can find
was
here?
probably like maybe 100 degrees or so. It's not super hot.
All right, so
it's
right
not
here we have a little
as hot as a hot tub,
lizard
but
just chilling.
just by like a few degrees. Like it's very comfortable. Doesn't smell like
Now,
chlorine or
back
anything.
Here we have a little. So now, if you look back here, we have.
There's a little red-eyed tree frog back there.
So now, if you look back here, we have a red-eyed tree frog.
My voice
He's a
wasn't
little too deep in there. So
dramatic
we can
enough.
get a photo of him. There he is, just chilling. Here we have a little gecko. Looks like he's drinking the water on the plant. Looking cute. If I put the flashlight right here by my ear and I look, I can see the reflections of the eyes of all the creatures that happen to be facing my direction. I'll show you.
We learned that at the night walk at Mawamba Lodge. Oops. So you can see all the little shiny lights.
So there's some sort of snake here. I don't know what kind of snake it is.
I eventually was able to see the head, but I still don't know what kind of snake it was. I don't think it was not non-venomous snake though. Just chilling.
Here's another little sleeping iguana. Well, he's awake now.
This is a caiman. There's caiman in that little lake. And there's actually quite a few of them.
Finally, first frog of the night.
You can hear the people yelling. Those are the workers like cleaning up the dinner area. Cute little tree frog. I think this might have been the same one. I think I left and then came back. So I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure if that was the same frog. I think it was. This is the caiman. It was really difficult to get my flashlight in sync with my camera and try to get some shots of these guys like in the pitch black, but I managed to get some good ones.
Now there's a little caiman in the water.
Tiny little guy. My chicken legs. Oh, this was going to the waterfall, La Fortuna Waterfall, I believe. Oh, where actually? I'm not sure now. Oh yeah, this was the waterfall. Okay. I apologize for some of if it gets loud. Very pretty. It was actually, once you get down there, like the water was very, very cold. It actually started to rain, but it was very pretty. Sarah didn't get in the water. I got in, but I was very cold. Look at me. Looking like a chunk. Looking like a chocolate chunk. Freezing. So it did rain a while, so I was just like, oh, I'll just stay in the water. That's fine. Oh, and this is Arenal 1968. So we went to this hike. This little guy, I can't remember his name, but he was a rascal.
So cute.
This is a coati.
Hi, baby.
Coatamundi, I think is what they're actually called. But yeah, he was definitely a rascal. They were used to him. I think his name was Pedro or something like that. Pulled some food out of the trash can.
Thank you for showing us. You are trouble.
Yeah, it was Pedro. And this was a fun walk. We did the red line, which is the furthest distance and the most challenging walk, and it actually was quite challenging. And we were very, very, very hot. And it was just a long walk. It took us a while. But it was a beautiful walk. And it's you can see all this black rock from lava that had flowed down at some point in time. It's really a workout, especially your stabilization muscles from when you're going down and going up and things like that. It's a great, oh, this is actually a really nice shot of the volcano. Sugar. Oh my God, it was so good. Oh, this was, some of these are kind of disjointed. This was after I took the video of me. This is actually how I take the photos and how I would use the camera and the lights together to get whatever the shot was that I needed. So I had to like, luckily I do have a fairly strong grip to be able to get some of these shots. But yeah, so you saw some of the shots of the frogs. That's how I got them. I don't know what that is. Are these drone shots? Or I think these are drone videos. They're not gonna load. So this is Lands in Love, and I think I'm gonna end this video here because I need to eat. But so we stayed at Arenal Manoa. This was our last stop. Lands of Love was the last place we were staying, vegan resort. So stay tuned. The next video we'll go over this. This was special in its own kind of way. It's very different than the other places that we've been. But yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate if anyone stuck around. This video is mostly for me, so I'm sure there's gonna be people that are upset that it's not 3D, but you know, I gotta post my life too on here sometimes. And I love this trip. I had a really good time, and I just wanted to share it with anyone who was interested or wanted to listen or is thinking about going to Costa Rica. If you have any questions or if you're wondering anything, put it below. I'm on the Facebook group too. I like to answer people's questions and help people out because I absolutely love it, and I was super excited about it. So anyone else that's excited or wants to know anything, I'm happy to help. All right, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. I just feel like I should say that even though I didn't do any sculpting there. I did photography. That was my art for this. It was photography. So next up will be Lands in Love. I'll see you guys later.